Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Real G Football. I'm with the original Real G. You know him, you love him. He is Stevie G. My guy, how are you feeling today, bro?
I'm doing great, Jeffrey. Thank you for having me on this beautiful show. You know, I've been missing Real G Football. It's good to be back. And, you know, this is time for me to get real nasty with you, get into these sports, soccer, world topics, football topics. I don't even know why I said soccer because we don't call that here on Real G Football. So, Jeffrey, what are we going to start with? I think we're going to start with Cristiano. Is that correctly?
That's correct, sir. Cristiano Ronaldo, man. You know, I know you love him, SG. I know you love him, but he's living up to the moniker of Penaldo, man. Penaldo. I can't do it anymore, man. I can't do it. You know, like, I mean, man, when a defender's turning their back, how can they really, like, I mean, come on, man. There's got to be something different done. I feel like, man, at the end of the day, it's just like it's all about getting Ronaldo those goals. It's about getting Juve the title. We see the bias. We see it over and over again. They get these clear-cut calls. I'm not going to lie, Manchester United gets a few too. They do get a few as well. But, man, you know what? It's just disappointing. But I also think, too, that Juventus, man, they just have more depth. And they were able to kind of pull away from Lazio, who was in second place, only a point behind them at the start of this restart. What do you think, SG? By the way, guys, if you could please make sure to give this video a quick thumbs up, share it with all your friends, and of course, subscribe to Lingo Sports for more great videos just like this. Now let's get back to it.
Well, Lazio, they completely collapsed after the restart. You know, they lost 2-1 today to Juventus, 2 goals from Mr. Ronaldo, and yes, you called them Penaldo, but he did score one not from the penalty spot, and also he scored a screamer just the other week, you know, so he's still showing those flashes of prime Ronaldo, so we got to give a hats off to him. But Lazio, I don't know what happened. They had Ciro Immobile scoring all types of goals, leading the league in scoring. He did score in this game against Juventus, but it was not enough. I don't know what happened to Lazio. They're in 4th place now, Jeffrey, and I just think this is one of the worst collapses we've seen since the restart.
I think one of the worst collapses actually might be Barcelona, to be honest with you, Stevie, because they were ahead. I mean, it was close still, too, with Real Madrid, who's obviously a great side, too. But, man, you know, when you're running Messi into the ground and you got all these great players, Griezmann, Suarez, De Jong, I mean, come on, man. There's so many great players on that team. They shouldn't have fallen back this far, man. They shouldn't have taken the L's that they took. I thought it was pretty bad, man. I don't think they looked very good. You know, Messi still did a good job while he could, man, but I think he was just tired, man. He was just exhausted. It sucks because it seems like there's some bias, man. It seems like the refs, that whole thing with the refs coming out, that thing was sort of true because there were just so many penalty goals, man, and you wonder how that changes the momentum of a game.
Well, Jeffrey, you said it. Penalty goals are becoming a constant thing, especially for Juventus, especially for your team, Manchester United. And Real Madrid, you know, they get benefited a lot, but that's what we see in every sport. You know, the big teams, they get the benefit of the doubt. They get the big calls, and it's unfair, to be honest, but that's just what happens. Real Madrid, regardless, though, great comeback on the season. Karim Benzema, he's been instrumental this year for them. You know, obviously 21 goals in the league. What do you get? 11 assists, 8 assists, around that range, you know. But he was just the heart of the attack. You know, he was their new Cristiano. They relied upon Karim Benzema, and their defense has been, you know, one of the best we've seen in a while. Sergio Ramos is even scoring double digits in goals. But yes, a lot of those have been penalties. They've been getting penalties like almost every game. You know, I'm watching Juve, I'm watching Manchester United, I'm watching Real Madrid. It's like the same team. I'm watching every week. They just get penalties after penalties after penalties. But shout out to Real Madrid. Barcelona, that team is a mess. Messi, though, he's always going to be Messi. He's always going to perform. But in terms of Barcelona, I don't know what the future of that club is looking like because it is all over the place.
I agree, SG. I agree, man. It looks rough. It looks bleak. Real Madrid looks good. I can't take it all away from them. They're still obviously a great team. It's just unfortunate. You wonder what might have happened differently. But SG, we're going to get to it now. You know, I've been calling you out. Been calling out your Arsenal. And I said, you know, hey, the future looks bleak. This past week, though, man, You're up here. Hats off. I mean, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. You took out the 2 top teams in the Prem. Nobody expected it. Giant slaying. I have to give it to you. And now you can let me have it if you want, SG, because I was talking the smack.
What did I tell you, Jeffrey? I said Mikel Arteta. Arteta ball. It is the future. If we get funds, Jeffrey, if we get the money to buy players, it's over. It's actually over because Mikel Arteta will be the best manager in the Premier League for the foreseeable future. Ole this, Ole that, Lampard this, Lampard that, all of them. You know, Pep, Klopp, yes, we give their hats out, but they're not these young upcoming managers. Not necessarily Ole's young, but he's kind of new to the top flight of England. And you know what, Arsenal, we're already proven that we can improve. And like Mikel Arteta said, we have a long gap to close. You know, we still have a long way to go, but this is just the start. You know, we got to play hard. We got to play the right way. And Mikel Arteta is playing that philosophy. We beat down Manchester City, and they didn't even look like they were going to score. We parked that big bus. Nothing. They were done. Aubameyang, they said he couldn't score in big games. He scored in big games. I don't even know what to tell you right now, Jeffrey. I'm just astonished. You know, honestly, I don't expect too much out of these 2 wins. We took down Liverpool, Man City, but the future just has me excited for one reason and one reason only, and that is Arteta ball. Now let me get over to the other semi-final of the FA Cup, which ended in a 3-1 victory for Chelsea over Manchester United. I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'm not going to call them by their original name because they've been good recently. You know, since the restart, they've been amazing. Bruno Fernandes, oh my goodness, this man already has double-digit assists in the Premier League, and he's barely even been there. But like you said about the penalties, Manchester United, they've been gifted. Bruno Fernandes, like basically all his goals are basically penalties. But in that game against Chelsea, it just seemed like you guys didn't even want to score. You guys did not even attempt to score until you were down 3-0 and the game was already over. But my hat's off to you because Manchester United, they have been playing great since the restart. I think the future is bright over there as well. Let's just hope that in London, the future is brighter, and that is going to be true because we have Mikel Arteta and you have Ole. No goal for Ole, all right? He's got to go. So what was your make of the semifinal? Do you have an apology for me for Arsenal saying that they have no future? Do you have an apology?
I think that the future still looks bleak. I think you guys performed well. I think you guys rose to the occasion. At the moment, right now, it seems like you're performing when you really need to. When you're facing the top 6, you look really, really good. Except Tottenham, you know, that's just the reality, except Tottenham. But against the really good teams, you guys really step up your game. I got to give you an apology. I was saying that we would meet you in the FA Cup. I said, see you there. I was wrong, SG. I was wrong. I was so sorely wrong. I did not expect that. I thought we handled Chelsea pretty well throughout the year. I did not expect that. You know, David De Gea, you know, he looked like he was starting to get his form back. He was making some amazing saves, except obviously the game versus Tottenham. But now you see it again, these errors, man. And I now wonder, you know, when Dean Henderson can return, is he the number 1 guy? Should we just get rid of David De Gea? That hurts me to say, man, because I love David De Gea. I really, really do. Great guy for the club. Seems like he'd be a great captain. It's just that the performances sometimes aren't helping him, you know? I think that the team around him was playing really good. But honestly, man, last week I was chirping this. I was saying, you know, hey, we can't keep chirping the center backs. We can't keep chirping the goalkeepers. This week it was really all on David De Gea, man. It was really all on the goalkeeper. If he had saved at least one of those chances, I think we maybe stay in that game. Maybe we do something, but you know what, man? We didn't show up. We didn't do nothing. We couldn't do nothing. And we probably would have lost to you anyway, SG. So if that's an apology, if you can accept that as an apology, I hope you do. I hope that we can still keep chirping each other because that's what makes this so fun, SG. That's what makes it. That's what brings me here, SG, for you and me to talk smack about each other, about each other's teams. But don't worry, I think the future is bright for both of us, so that way it actually stays somewhat competitive, SG.
I like to hear that, Jeffrey. You know, Arteta, I'm just going to leave you one more thing on Arsenal. Arteta doesn't even have the players he wants right now. He has to use those crappy Arsenal players for the most part. We do have some good players. We have some bright future players coming into the lineup, but we have a lot of work to do. And once Arteta gets it right, oh my goodness, Jeffrey, you're going to be shivering over there in Manchester. You're going to be scared of us. You're going to be hiding because, oh my goodness, Arsenal is coming back. The future is coming back. But let's not talk about that anymore because we've talked about it enough. I will come chirp you about this very soon because FA Cup is coming soon. The FA Cup final is coming soon, and that is when we will lift that. All right, we will take on Chelsea, and we will lift that trophy. All right, Frank Lampard doesn't have that German duo coming in just yet. They don't have the Werner, the Havertz, the Ziyech coming in. So they're going to have to do with Olivier Giroud. And I can promise you, Olivier Giroud will never embarrass us in a finals again. It is not happening. But let's move on, Jeffrey, because there's something we need to talk about. Something I personally find absolutely ridiculous, and that is the Ballon d'Or being canceled for this year? That is the most ridiculous. Most leagues are finishing the season. Other leagues have crowned champions. I don't understand. Most of the season has been played. All of the season has been played, actually, for most leagues. And the Champions League is also going to be finished. So there's no excuse for the Ballon d'Or to be canceled. Why do you think that it is canceled? And do you agree with it or do you disagree? Because you better be on my side, Jeffrey, because this is awful.
I don't get it at all, SG, man. It's so weird. Like, why? Why can't we just, ship whoever wins the Ballon d'Or, man? I don't see the problem. I don't understand. Like, what is it? Just like you got to have Messi winning all the time? You can't have Robert Lewandowski win it just because he's a quiet guy, or Virgil van Dijk because he's more of a quiet guy, or Alisson Becker? I don't understand, man. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that they would have easily won, or Kevin De Bruyne too, but man, it's just so weird. Like, I don't understand it at all. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me why you would want to cancel it. Maybe we'll learn some more in the future, but I'm going to have to make a full-blown video on this one, SG, and that is going to be on Lingo Sports. That is wild, man. That is wild. Like, when I heard that this morning, I still can't make sense of it, man. And it sucks because this was a really good race, don't you think?
I do. There was a lot of options to choose from. It wasn't a clear-cut race for the Ballon d'Or this year, and that's what was most exciting about it. It could have been a number of players that you could have considered to win the Ballon d'Or this year. It wouldn't have been just Messi or Ronaldo in the running, and I don't even think Ronaldo would have been in the running. So, I just think it's ridiculous that they canceled it. You can still name a best player of the year regardless of ceremony, regardless of anything. So it's unfair, especially to the player who is going to win the Ballon d'Or this season, especially if it was a player who has not won a Ballon d'Or yet. To just cancel it, I think it's absolutely horrible.
I really hope that they reconsider this, man. I mean, obviously there's lots of time, but we will see, SG. We will see. Thank you so much for joining me, SG. Guys, remember, I'm going to put it in the description here where to find SG on YouTube. He makes some hilarious, amazing content. So you better go give him a subscription. You better give us a subscription as well. Give us a like and share this video around with your friends so they know where to find the best footy content and, of course, SG's content. SG, thank you once again for joining me. Thank you for holding me accountable for clearly my obvious and terrible mistakes. What shambles, man. What shambles. We out, baby.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Peace.